Governor Parkop's determination to arrest sorcery accusers. Parents voice concerns on cheap alcohol. And public call for reduction in fuel prices.
This is National EMTV News with Helen Seah.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Friday's news. NCD Governor Parkop, who is also a parliamentary member of gender-based violence, today committed 50,000 kina to support police capture the men who brutally tortured a group of women, resulting in injury and death. The barbaric act was inflicted on women accused of sorcery in the Kagua-Irava district of Southern Highlands last December. Police Minister William Onglo thanked Governor Parkop, saying the support will go a long way to assist police with logistics.
Since the brutal torture and killing of women accused of sorcery last month, the police force has been lacking logistical support to deploy policemen to apprehend the perpetrators. Wearing his hat as a parliamentary member of the Gender-Based Violence Committee, NCD Governor Parkop presented a cheque of 50,000 kina to the force in support of the police operations to capture the criminals. NCD Governor says such killings are an evil offense to the men, and his support is a statement.
We don't want anybody, particularly women and girls, to be subjected to this type of violence anymore. And we won't stand by and just be silent and do nothing. We all, had enough. Enough is enough. That's why we are here to show this support to you all and the police. Our desire, and as I said, the women will speak after me, is that these men must be arrested.
Deputy Police Commissioner Anton Billy thanked the NCD Governor for this timely assistance. However, the Deputy Commissioner said it needs more collective efforts to put an end to this endemic.
We have taken steps to talk to the leaders, and because the location that this incident happened is right at the back of Cargo Station, where there's no road link, so the police has to go there, and it's right in the bush. The terrains are no access, so it's only bush track that you have to walk at least 1 hour to get, 1 day to get to a scene. So our policemen went as far as where the road stops, and then they talked to the leaders to support the police operations. And they have given them the ultimatum to, the owners on the village ward councillors and the leaders to cooperate, because we cannot accept such, treatment to be given to our women.
Police Minister William Onglo shared similar sentiments and assured the women representatives that all parliamentarians are strongly against such evil behavior.
Every leader, actually when we were on the government caucus group, every leader, including our Prime Minister, spoke strongly against this one. This last time we told them all byproduct of Satan. They are so evil. They can't live within our community, and they cannot live among us. They are not human. We can't say animals. Animals are good creatures that we can tame.
Representing the women, Rose Hagua acknowledged the assistance from the governor to the police. She commended politicians, non-government organizations, and individuals that are behind the women folk who are pushing for justice. Hagua said they will continue until the culprits are arrested.
We need to stop it, so leaders have to take this lead. Our governor has come on board. We're not going to give up. We are going to come back, Minister, end of this month. I'm leading this, so I will make sure these ladies come back again wearing red and black. Red to symbolize end violence. Black, we are still in the morning. When the perpetrators are brought to justice, then we're going to stop. Otherwise, every month we'll visit you, Minister. We want to get the progressive result. You have the police.
Podivai National EMTV News.
The sale of cheap alcohol is having an adverse effect on communities, and parents are now voicing their concerns. Cheap alcohol has resulted in domestic arguments, often resulting in fights, criminal activities, injury and even death. This concern is being echoed throughout Papua New Guinea, with parents calling on the national government to address the manufacturing and sale of cheap alcohol.
Police in Port Moresby have been keeping watch on crimes reported throughout its 8 stations. The one with the high rate of occurrences is alcohol-related, ranging from petty to serious offences, including sexual assault and murder. Parents, on the other hand, say the sale of cheap alcohol is a major contributing factor to these social issues.
O sarang close to Osena, go liquid mania coins or go buy new black area. Come didn't kidnapping pride shooting mem, Nalbla, Burkhead, Blong and walking kind can pick plus and being Sakamabigo, Mark with a planning beginning die Osena Mino lack.
In the NCD command, steps have already been taken to identify and minimize the alcohol abuse. Commander of NCD and Central, Anthony Wagambi Jr., had tasked the NCD Metropolitan Superintendent and his team to collect data and identify the alcohol that is causing problems within the city. Calls have also been made to the National Capital District Commission to take lead in gaining support from the national government to properly regulate the manufacturing and selling of cheap liquor.
This very serious problem in the city, this liquid money, big spark, cheap alcohol proliferation in the city is gone west. We at the NCD has a responsibility to manage this sale of alcohol in the city. We have a committee, and our committee we have revamped it. We have included some of our commissioners into the committee, and they've been, working on some response that can keep this, trend that is happening. And I've been pushing them to come up with a response quickly. But the immediate, thing that we have to do is, ban this, legally, what they call it, legally priced big spark type of alcohol.
But while these discussions are only beginning, most parents who are low-income earners are concerned about the mental health of their children who consume cheap alcohol.
Time all drink this land, smoking drug time, I'm thinking low and blackout. So one him talk, all no sawe. Before kind of me, or me, kind of 15, 16 years old time. Talk no good, and Papa Mama sa talk no good, Miss Aaron and Mina sa talk no good. So now talk no good, one can calabro talk no good and finish with this 2 plus something.
Over the last 5 years, the alcohol industry in Papua New Guinea has started manufacturing and selling alcohol for as low as 20 kina. And almost all liquor shops do not ask for ID cards when selling liquor to underage children.
Papua New Guinea, this is most be city. I'm destroying plant, your young plant. School beginning. We go to college beginning.
While police have started collecting data, St. John Ambulance has expressed support in the dailies the need for an urgent review into the sale of cheap alcohol in NCD. Thekla Jogo, National EMTV News.
An advocacy group has been launched in Main's Jiwaka province to help address law and order issues in the province. The newly established NGO group, called the Community Peace Advocacy Inc., aims to address gender-based violence, drugs, homebrew, among others. The local NGO was officially launched by Jiwaka Governor Dr. William Tongup recently.
The people of Jiwaka turned out in numbers at Means just before New Year to witness the launching of the local NGO. The local NGO, called the Community Peace Advocacy Inc., was established with an aim to help address lawlessness in the province and to ensure a safe and peaceful society. It was supported by another local NGO in Jiwaka called the Voice for Change. Jiwaka Governor Dr. William Tongamp was there to officially launch the newly established NGO.
Plenty policeman. All policeman maybe close to some 6,000 or 7,000. Now plenty problem or labun. Now all stuff long time lo force effectiveness of work long come down lately.
Law and order issues have always been a challenge for the new province. Given the escalation of lawlessness and inadequate police manpower and logistic support, addressing law and order issues has always been a challenge for the police. With these challenges, the NGO aims to be a catalyst for peace and harmony in the society. According to NGO Secretary Andrew Dupre, the NGO will be doing awareness at schools and public places on law and order issues, especially on amendments to Summary Offences Act penalties and health effects. They will be establishing networks with community leaders on crime reporting links to police and provide evidences in court.
Victim belong gender-based violence, man-made fight, child abuse, sorcery accusations,
The Secretary further adding that the NGO will advocate for peace and good order in communities, and they will be addressing sorcery-related accusations and violence, child abuse, home brew, drugs, gender-based violence, among others. The governor, when launching the NGO, presented them with 20,000 kina to support them in their activities. He further gave his assurance that he will continue to support stakeholders in their efforts to address law and order issues in the province. Rayon Lakingu National, MTV News.
A lone mobile squad member and NCD Zone 2 commander successfully apprehended one of 3 suspects involved in stealing a government vehicle. They also recovered 2 homemade guns with live ammunition. The government-owned 15-seater bus was stolen after criminals held up the driver at gunpoint while the bus was doing morning pickup. Police say 4 men got on the bus and drove towards 9 Mile roundabout when Police Operations Centre was informed of the incident. Within 5 minutes after the message was dispatched through police radio, 2 police units sighted the car and gave chase towards 9 Mile. The suspects then abandoned the vehicle, leaving one of their members behind. You're watching National MTV News. We'll have a road sealing underway in rural East Sepik after 50 years, and ICCC announced increase in PMV and taxi fares. Details after the break. Welcome back. A 15-kilometre road is being built to link up Yanguru South district to 6 villages in the Middle Sepik. A funding of 1 million kina has been allocated for the road from Kiniambo to Sengera and is expected to be completed by March 2022. Local MP Richard Maru says it's a vital link for the district as it will create opportunities for people in Yanguru travelling to the Middle Sepik to do business and vice versa. This road access is believed to be the first sealed road to be built in 50 years.
That project is funded by the DDA. We thank God that the funds are available and we have already paid the mobilization, so they're working now. One thing that really impressed me when I went to visit last week is the villages from Makambo and Kinambo built a camp within 2 days. They killed 2 pigs, celebrated, the road is coming. I couldn't believe in 2 days all the houses are up, all the machines are there, and everybody's excited about their roads. These people have been crying for roads prior to independence, and they have been crying and crying and crying, and finally we're so happy that we can now get the road down to them. That's a 15-kilometer road, and to get to the Sepik River, to Yanjan village, we only need 6 kilometers and a 500,000 kina bridge, and that we will order in late next week. So we should be able to get down to the river by April. But we will do a major launch. Once we get to Sengera, we'll have a launch program for the road down to Yanjan. And that's when we'll invite the media to come, and we'll have a big launch where we'll invite the 7 villages on the river to come up. Villages like Yanjan itself, Palimbe, Korobu, Haibom, all these people. We will invite them to come up, and we can then formally launch the road down to the river, and we can get our own people from Young Society to come down and meet the people from the river for the first time. Currently, they travel 4 hours by speedboats and canoe down to Parkway, and then they do the run around from Parkway down to Hayfield and Buick. That takes them 8 hours.
8 hours.
It's a whole day of traveling. With this road, it'll take them 1 hour to get to Yegibole Junction in Young Social District, and then it'll take them only 1 hour to be back. So we cut out 6 hours. But our people in Young Social are very fond of their macau, the fish. We eat it with our sego called nangu, so we really would like to get the road down so our own people can be serviced with a fresh supply of both fresh and cooked fish every day.
Coastal people, the highway people, the mountain people, we've got some excess of services. This one is the first one that it's a breakthrough into the civic plains. That road will benefit, that 1 million kina that is spent on that project will benefit the livelihood of the people. Since independence, or since colonization till after independence, and now there's no road. This is the first of its kind for a road to go through. People will have access into the services. That will improve their social economic activities in that area. Cash flow will be improved. Local cash crops, it can introduce and it can help the growers to produce because there's a market. The accessibility to market is open, and that is the biggest thing that he has done.
Road conditions between North Chimbu and Upper Bundy in Medang have worsened following continuous rainfall in the area. This has disrupted access to services. Yesterday, Bundy-based community organization, the Kumura Foundation, started grading the roads in partnership with locals and business houses to restore better access to services.
This supplied footage taken earlier this week shows the state of the rural road connecting North Chimbu to Upper Bundy in the Medang province. The continuous rainfall has hindered access into the area, including a community ambulance service that transports patients from Upper Bundy to Chimbu.
Because all I go down to Medang na Ramu and Bundy station road and pass over and no Adlo go down. So this line one access where you say come.
Yesterday, Bundy-based community organization, the Kumura Foundation, under its community service focus, partnered with other locals and began grading a 5-kilometer section of the road starting at Goe in North Chimbu to Mondia Pass. This will service local farmers, SME owners, and most importantly, allow villagers to access services in those areas.
People have been finding kind of road helping but them asking kind of man and road and pass. But people talk thank you Kumura Foundation you come through this la Aprawena.
Kumura Foundation Director Vincent Kumura thanked the local partners, including Mapai Transport and Puma Energy, for the support in maintaining these roads. The grading, which started yesterday, will continue for the next 3 days. Lucy Kopana, National EMTV News.
And now looking at the NASFund market report, the kina closed unchanged at $0.2850 in the interbank markets. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2775 $0.3837 Australian dollars, $0.2378 euro, and 31.57 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York closed, gold is trading lower, coffee and cocoa closed lower, and copper closed higher. Crude oil is trading higher, palm oil closed lower, and copper closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National EMTV News continues with stories making headlines overseas. After these messages, stay with us. Welcome back to the news. The Independent Consumer and Competition Commission announced yesterday an increase on PMV and taxi fares. This, they say, is attributed to an increase in the Consumer Price Index and fuel price.
The cost of fuel in the country has rapidly increased in 2021. The major increase was in November when petrol jumped from 3 kina 79 to 4 kina 13 toya, an increase of 33.8 toya. Diesel jumped from 3 kina 28 toya to 3 kina 63 toya, an increase of 34.17 toya, and kerosene jumped from 3 kina 10 toya to 3 kina 33 toya, an increase of 32.47 toya. A slight drop in December of 2021, petrol and kerosene recording 9 toya decrease and diesel decreased by 6 toya. The fuel price as at December stands at petrol 4 kina 4 toya per litre, diesel 3 kina 56 toya, and kerosene 3 kina 23 toya. These are fuel prices in Port Moresby. The cost of fuel varies in other parts of the country depending on other costs associated with transporting the fuel. The Independent Consumer and Competition Commission, or ICCC, is yet to release the fuel price for the month of January 2022. The increase of fuel price is now affecting the cost of public transport services in towns and cities. ICCC yesterday announced new PMV and taxi fares through a national gazette, a decision that has been welcomed by PMV drivers with a bit of hesitant.
122 still online but biget na all baging 1 kina osagain so. One trip mi plus go round 25 plus seat so. One trip mi plus go round online sa game 60 to 50 to 40 to mi plus sim one trip 23 kina 22 kina 21 kina sometimes 19 kina 18 kina. Na fuel price all apim go anta be now mi plus 4 kina na black pelita.
Consumer face me apim desla bus fare rate alright legally because I'm come one time price blow fuel very expensive too much because all public agree one time this idea blow abim bus fare so time all authorities so usat money go pass lo PMV body authorizing me bla long abim bus fare by me bla carry on one time this
we are talking 460 per litre so I'm now bla pay one bla one trip me bla collect one bla 24 kina or 23 kina or 22 kina some time. Now 22 kina fuel the one block trip go na come back the fuel 20 kina fuel finish nothing.
The travelling public in NCD have this to say.
Mipla bulk of the population no se mipla depend lo public transport lo moving mipla go lo work go to school or market or kind something no se na this la increase but still affecting budget lo mipla. So me no think also this idea am good idea because every day me play buy bus fare or picking to go to school na me play to go to work na kind something also na this time true and bulk of the population and am affected straight.
Price plug I get to go on top na this 22 or put him on top in no good plan. Almost put him 1 kina straight na larim you may pay 1 kina na round.
Thomas Moby has been living in Port Moresby for 11 years and uses his vehicle as a taxi, a way to sustain his livelihood in the city. His only concern is the cost of fuel, a concern shared by PMV drivers too.
People stop no government stop. So I must order people legal line, kind of some sample private car too. Fuel price go on up na people like some big la time.
Bus pay go on up still online but biget so. One plus andi amba megilem. Put the price per fuel toll go down.
Shamin Poriambeb, National MTV News.
Chuka Sports is next. All the details after the break.
Chuka Sports.
Welcome to Chuka Sports. The inaugural Southern Super League season is coming to a close with the final series set for next week, Saturday. The competition is set to conclude with the grand final on the 29th of January.
The Southern Super League, a second-tier competition to the nation's National Rugby League competition, is set to have its elimination finals starting next week. The 12-team competition was launched this year with development sides from the Digicel Cup teams and other leagues across the Southern Confederate taking part in the Papua New Guinea Rugby Football League sanctioned competition.
In its inaugural year, the competition has been competitive, with a good standard of rugby league on show. The competition serves as a pathway to the country's Tier 1 competition, the Digicel Cup, and is a concept that will surely help players build the confidence to move up to the top-level competition in the country. After the final round of competition, the final top 6 teams are set for the final series. The competition ended with the Port Moresby Vipers Academy finishing up first. In second is the Southern Blacks from the Moresby South Rugby Football League. Third are the Funeral Home Laumas. The Suburban Ducks finished fourth, with the Dabaris and Gulf Iso development sides closing off the 5th and 6th position respectively. With the top 6 teams finalized, there has been a change to the Elimination Finals, with 4th place side the Suburban Ducks from the Port Moresby Suburban League forced to pull out of the competition. The Ducks have failed to pay off the balance of their 10,000 kina affiliation fee. The Ducks and the Isos owed 5,000 kina each, but the Isos settled their balance, while the Ducks did not respond to 3 notices given to them, thus forcing them out of the finals. The Buria Reds, who finished 7th, have now moved up to the final series. The Elimination Finals are set for the 15th, which is next week Saturday, with the 3rd place Laumas to take on the 5th place Iso, while the Dabaris take on the Reds. The Vipers and the Blacks are on bye. The Vipers will take on the winner of the Laumas and the Isos match, while the Blacks will take on the winner of the Dabaris and the Reds match the following week. The grand final is set for the 29th of January. Fidelis Sukina, Trukai Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports, with the details coming up next.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
I'll look at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow. In the southern region, cloudy with some rain showers in Port Moresby, becoming cloudy with some rain showers in Daru, Alotau and Popondetta, some showers and thunderstorms in Kerma. In the Mamasa region, cloudy with a few showers in Ley and Wewak, cloudy periods in Vanimo and some showers and thunderstorms in Medang. I'll look in the NGI region, cloudy with a few showers in Lorengau, Kavieng, Kokopo, Rabaul and Buka, and showers and thunderstorms in Kimbe. In the Highlands region, some showers and thunderstorms right across the region in Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundiawa, Mindi and Wabeg. Forecast with small crafts for the next 24 hours. Coastal waters of southern PNG Indonesian border through Daru to Hood Point, seas of 2 to 3 meters. Coastal waters of Hood Point to Samari Island, seas of 1.5 to 3 meters. Coastal waters of Vitia Strait to Wewak, seas of 2 to 3 meters. Coastal waters of New Britain to New Ireland and Bougainville, seas of 1.5 to 2.5 meters. I'll look at the ocean forecast for PNG areas. In the Coral Sea, seas moderate with northwest winds at 15 to 30 knots. In the Solomon Sea, seas moderate with northwest to westerly winds at 15 to 25 knots. In the Bismarck Sea, seas moderate with northwest winds at 15 to 25 knots. And in the Pacific Ocean, seas moderate with northwesterly winds at 15 to 25 knots.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And a reminder before we go, strong winds are being experienced within the city of Port Moresby at the moment. Those who are planning to drive out or are on the road, please take extra care out there. From me and the EMTV News team, it's good night.